Hey, welcome back, you beautiful people. This is the Grand Day Show number 3.
That's right. Thanks for joining us. This is our show, and we are back for the 3rd episode.
Third time's the charm.
That's right.
That's what they say. There's our phrase.
Yeah, we're going to get into phrases coming up in a minute, but that is a perfect one for our show. And if you haven't seen our show before, what we are all about is we are here to help you get an escape from all that negativity that's been in the world. We're just here for some fun, some entertainment, and hopefully you get a laugh or two.
And we don't want to ignore it. We just want to say there's other stories going on too.
That's
and
right.
Sometimes when there's lots of things going on in the world that have a negative or a stressful tinge to them, we got to look at the other things that are always going on as well. So positivity is important. And
That's
for
right.
that, we bring our buzzers.
That's right. So positivity, you get the blue buzzer of joy. And if you say anything negative,
Words like COVID, pandemic.
this is what happens.
Oh, you got to do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's fair. It just draws us attention to that.
That's right.
You know, things like kindness. You hear stories, even now, Tracie, of people that are going out in the world and just connecting with their friends. They are vacuuming their. Sorry, they're not vacuuming. Okay, they might be vacuuming their neighbors' lawns or their sidewalks. They're shoveling. They're shoveling their neighbors' carpets. You know what I mean? They're doing good things for the neighbors.
I don't know if I do.
That's the newest thing. They're vacuuming. Shovel your neighbor's walk. Those
That's
kinds
right.
of things. That would get you the blue buzzer.
Because in Edmonton, we have to shovel all the time.
Yeah. So we have, Tracie came up with this acronym for the show today. 4 words that describe our show.
It's fun, entertaining, super show.
Fun, entertaining, super show. And I came up with an acronym, FESS.
FESS.
So it's a FESS show.
Right.
And Tracie, I have to fess up about something.
Uh-oh. What did you do?
Well, Valentine's, I was going on last week about how, cool I was going to do all this great stuff.
Yeah,
whatever.
like a big Valentine's for your wife.
I know. I kind of did. I did, sort of. I washed the car and I got her a card, and she got down to work and she didn't really notice. And so, when she got home, she's like, oh, yeah, you washed the car. And then it was, but what did you do?
Wash the car. Well, you know what? I can't talk because we didn't really do much for Valentine's Day either. Hubby always gets me flowers, and then we couldn't go out to dinner that night because the family had an activity going on. So my husband and I are going to go out for Valentine's dinner, but later on. We're not doing it on Valentine's
just
night.
If you look at the screen, he sent you a little heart.
Oh, thanks,
isn't
Devin.
that nice, Devin?
He's such a good guy.
He said it will cost you $5. So you have to send e-transfer to him.
Well, then I also got a Valentine from my son Anson. He drew a Valentine.
Really?
Yeah. And it's,
that's the picture you sent. Yeah,
super
yeah.
cute.
Let's look at that.
That's right.
Now, he drew that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, explain it. What does it say?
If you were a vegetable, you'd be a cucumber. Right?
That is so nice.
Such a cute Valentine. And then I love pickles. A friend of mine owns Jill Dills. They started that up here in Edmonton. Yeah. And I got 2 jars of pickles for Valentine's Day as well. So, right?
Pickle stories are sweet.
Yeah. Well, they're actually kind of sour.
Yeah.
That's the dill.
What's the dealio? Okay, so let me finish the Valentine's.
Okay.
It's not all is not lost. We are going to go to the Winsper Center in April. That's our Valentine's present to each other.
Nice.
To see John Williams. And I have a little shout out to the Winsper here. April 22nd, 23rd at the Winsper. They're doing the movie music of the great John Williams. Get your tickets at the box office there as well. But of course, those of you who don't know about John Williams, he wrote Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
He wrote the soundtracks. Really talented guy. E.T. He did the E.T. soundtrack.
Pretty much any movie you've been to.
Yeah.
Just probably has some John Williams in it.
Yeah.
Did you know that he also did the soundtrack for Jaws?
Mm-hmm.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
You knew that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, he also did the soundtrack for Saving Private Ryan. And I like to bring that one up because that's a little Edmonton shout out.
Is it filmed in Edmonton?
It wasn't filmed in Edmonton, but it was filmed with an Edmontonian.
Right. Oh, yeah. Nathan Fillion.
And you know him.
Yeah. Nathan Fillion and I were in the same school. We both went to Concordia together. And then we were in the same choir, actually. He was a year younger, and he's a lot richer. So,
a little bit. Maybe just a little younger.
But let's go back, look at this picture. Okay, here he is. That's Ted Danson.
Ted Danson with him, and he's talking to Tom Hanks. So, like, some amazing talent that he's acting with in this movie. And he played the wrong Ryan. So if you remember from the movie, they originally tracked down James Ryan, but he was the wrong James Ryan. So very funny scene with Nathan Fillion, and a good shout out to Edmonton.
Can you imagine that though? That's one of your first shows.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
You got Hanks and Ted Danson,
and that whole movie was so star-studded.
Yeah.
But then to see him in the same scene with those 2 major actors too is incredible.
Yeah, it's like when I first I got to do a show with Tracie Gray. I'm like, oh my gosh, my first show with
Yes,
Tracie
that's
Gray.
right.
I'm like, I was freaking out.
Yes,
Wasn't I?
it must have been similar to the feeling that Nathan had.
Yeah,
with Ted Danson
I was the
Tom
wrong
Hanks.
Matt, not the wrong Ryan.
When you first worked with me, that must be same feeling. So you know what it feels like to be Nathan Fillion.
Absolutely.
And I don't know if we would ever know what it feels like to have our own pavilion named after us, but that's a consensus in Edmonton is there's a petition to get a building called the Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion.
And there's a whole YouTube video of all these different actors and actresses right in there.
From the Suicide Squad.
And they're saying we gotta get this petition going.
That's right. And they even turned Edmonton City Hall into the Nathan Fillion Civilian Pavilion.
You try and say that
briefly. So they're pushing to make it more permanent.
But a good shout out to him. He's done very well. Brings a lot of respect to our city.
Yeah,
so
that's
good
right.
news. And I think Nathan. What do you think?
Yep.
Yeah. Buzzer.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good for Edmonton and good for Nathan Fillion.
Yeah, and if you're watching, you just got the blue buzzer. Oh yeah. So
that's right. Yeah.
I know you were in Private Ryan, but
even if he's a little younger and a little richer. Yeah. All right. Well, some sad news for movies. An icon in the movie industry, Ivan Reitman, passed away on the weekend. And I'm bringing him up because he did some amazing movies. Like if you saw Twins, he was also in Stripes, the movie Dave, Animal House, the Beethoven 1 and 2. And then also my all-time favorite, Ghostbusters.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, sad. That's a big loss, isn't it? It really is a big loss.
That is a really big
loss.
And
Ghostbusters. I keep forgetting he was a Ghostbusters guy. So he's gone now. So who are you going to call? Right?
Who are you going to call? You actually could call his son Jason Reitman, who it looks like might have the same talents as his dad. He came out with the latest Ghostbuster movie. He wrote and directed that.
Okay.
And then his daughter Catherine is incredibly talented as well. She's got a very popular series out on Netflix right now that's called Working Moms. Awesome. And it's a great show. And I actually got to see the three of them.
Wow.
Yeah, I was
in
Toronto.
The Toronto.
Yeah, at the Toronto Film Festival a few years back. They were doing a live reading of The Princess Bride.
Nice.
And brought in a star-studded cast to read the script from the movie The Princess Bride. Ivan was in the audience, and then Jason and Catherine were both a part of the show. So,
and there's something cool about being in the presence of someone like
amazing.
You direct that much stuff, and you've got that much in your head, right?
Yeah, and his talents have obviously rubbed off because it's an incredibly talented family. So it was really cool to see that.
Yeah, good job, Ivan, for putting all that, downloading that to all of your kids and making that work.
Yeah, for passing that along.
So we're going to go to Pun of the Day now. That's our next... we always have a Pun of the Day.
Yeah, so this segment is so much fun because we both love puns, so hopefully you love them as much as we do. If not, you can fast forward.
We're not even the ones that are bringing them up. We're getting them sent to us from all kinds of people. Keep that coming. You can... so this is from Terry McFarlane. Terry, we love you. I think you're great. I know Terry, and she loves our show, and she is from the Vernon area.
Thanks,
so
Terry.
Terry sends us this great little pun here. So you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. What do you call a herd of baby sheep tumbling down a hill, Tracie?
I don't know, Matt. What do you call that?
Well, that would be a landslide.
That's bad.
That's bad. Yeah.
Oh, no.
So, anyway, thanks, Terry, for that little shout out. We love getting all those comments. So, yeah, folks, please do send that our way. So
and that quickly takes us into our next segment, which is Ticker Talk. And that's just some big things that are happening in the news right now. Speaking of sliding down a hill, that was the direction that Oilers were going in, but they have stopped that landslide of theirs as they brought in a new player, they brought in a new coach, and it's going really good for them.
It's going really good. 3 in a row. So
that's right.
They've done it. They won again last night in LA. A little quick shout out to Stuart Skinner. Stuart Skinner was one of my piano students for a very, very short period of time.
Really?
I taught a few of the Stuart or the Skinner kids. He had 12 kids in the family. Yeah. If you teach them all, I mean, that's a pretty good little day's work if you could teach them. I didn't teach them all. But Stuart, we show up and Stuart was there and Stuart always had lots of energy. Cool kid, and I'm really excited to see what he's doing. And he got a shutout 2 nights ago, which is like, a
shutout.
A shutout.
And now we're giving him a shout out.
A shutout.
And I think we should do it in a shout out in a Sean Connery style.
Okay, try.
Where you say, Stuart Skinner.
Stuart Skinner.
What do you say, way to go?
You send 2 to the hospital, I'll send 3 to Safeway. or whatever.
To strive for.
To
That's
strive
right.
for. Anything he says sounds good. Okay?
It does. It makes everything sound better.
You know, I got to say, Sean got better in the James Bond, but it's in the early ones, like misogyny, Sean, like there was some stuff like too much, Sean.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that, he sort of changed his ways there a little bit. Yeah, good looking guy, gets older, gets better looking. He's pretty cool.
He's a very cool guy.
He is a very, very cool guy. And what else we got? Oh, Olympics. This is cool. We are up to, how many medals we have now?
Well, we've got 18, which puts us in 11th place. And 3 of those medals are gold.
Yeah, and last week we told you about Max Perot, who won the gold in slopestyle. We also have a 5,000 meter short track gold medal
for speed skating,
and the women's short pursuit, or the long women's pursuit speed skating, also gold medal. So congrats, team pursuit. So Norway is in first place.
Norway,
yeah, I know. Isn't that something?
That's very exciting. And I'm very proud for them, but I don't get overly shocked when a country that has a long winter like we do does well in the Winter Olympics.
They should.
What's shocking is when a country like Jamaica had a bobsled team.
I know.
In the Calgary Winter Olympics.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
One of my favorite movies, too, Cool Runnings with the great John Candy. Odell Beckham Jr., too, and the sad, unfortunate. I mean, he's a great player, and then he does his ACL in. But he catches the first touchdown in the Super Bowl. And then, so we do hope that he recovers well. He's an amazing
Amazing guy. And you know what? I have to fess up. For me, I didn't watch a lot of the Super Bowl. I like the halftime shows. Watched that. It was incredible.
Who was halftime this year? I didn't.
It was a whole bunch of artists.
Okay.
Yeah. And then pretty much wrapped up with Eminem, but Dr. Dre was in it quite a bit and stuff like that too. And Eminem, he was my favorite part of it. I really, really like him.
No more games. I'm a change. For a while. You call rage. Shut his mother flipping roof off like Two Dogs Cage. See, I keep doing this rap thing. So. Yeah,
but of course you've never heard of Eminem before.
Never heard.
You're just making that up.
Just kind of wing it.
My favorite thing from the Super Bowl though was seeing Will Ferrell and of course Ryan Reynolds were sharing a box together because apparently they're really good friends and have a show on Funny or Die together too. So they worked together before. So Ryan Reynolds, Canadian,
shout out,
bought Will Ferrell a BC Lions jersey.
That's such a good idea.
And Will Ferrell wore it to the Super Bowl.
Will Ferrell would wear it.
So that was my favorite part.
He was on the game last night too. He's wearing a hoodie, drinking beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just...
Which was awesome to see because apparently he's a Kings fan, which we'll let him...
We'll let that go.
We'll let that slide.
Yeah. I looked at the goalie's mask last night, and it had the king on it from the card. Like it's got the king. I'm like, oh, Darlene, look, it's got the Joker. She's like, LA Kings, that's a king on the helmet.
That's a king helmet.
Yeah. Right.
My husband's not a fan of those helmets.
No, I don't.
I like them.
They're too shiny.
I like them.
Something about shininess. I don't know.
Because they're kings, right? Yeah. That's their crown.
I get it. No, I don't. I just don't like it.
I like it.
But Norway, again, congrats, Norway, first place. But what's interesting, Norway, the population isn't big there, but in Edmonton, population just got bigger. So check this out. We are now, by the latest census says Edmonton now, finally done it. We've reached 1 million people.
We are growing.
We are growing.
And I've been in Edmonton since I was 3 years old, so I remember when it was a lot smaller than that. It's kind of crazy to see it grow like it has been. But the city's doing a lot to help support the extra growth that we've had. They've got an $18.3 million plan to turn the Coliseum Inn, which is an old hotel, and turn that into supportive housing. So that's really good news. Give the city,
absolutely, right? That deserves the buzzer for sure.
To give lots more room for other people. The remaining $11 million will come from the federal government, while $7.3 million comes from the city. And then the inn will require renovations. They're going to have to add kitchenettes before people can move into it, but then it'll become permanent housing for them. So that's a good feels good thing for Edmonton.
Good. Yeah, I'm going to hit the buzzer too because that's
way to go, Yeg.
We can
Yeg to go.
We can do that. Good job. Oh, you know what? I want to say good job to my wife too. She can I just give her a shout out because she got me this is my Valentine's card.
How could I say no to that?
Yeah, so,
of course. No, shout out to Darlene.
So we were talking about Valentine's earlier. I just remembered you hit the buzzer. She deserves a buzzer because she got me a nice card. And you know what's really cool? She uses the same card every year. This is, I think, you can see that. So. Yeah, she's got.
Just changes the date.
She just crosses the old dates out. I think environmentally,
yeah,
good job, honey.
Right?
Good job, environmentally.
And then that's so good as well as a time saver. Right. You're helping the environment.
Yeah, and this year she said. This year she said, just write your own date in.
Yeah, so. and it's still accurate because you're still her husband.
Yeah,
and it's still you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. So that's just ingenious. My wife's brilliant.
You are brilliant, Darlene. Good thinking. And the cost of cards are getting so expensive.
I know.
When they cost more than what the gift is that you give someone, that's when you start to worry.
It really is. It's nutty out there with cards.
This is the one that keeps on giving.
I know. So again, for card companies, price is too high.
Knock that one down.
You get the yellow buzzer. So, Tracie, what else is going on? What else is trending?
Well, for trending right now, obviously, it is Black History Month. And so if you'd like to do some celebrating in the Edmonton area, Taste of Africa at Arden Theatre is happening. And it's a variety show. It'll be February 26th when that takes place. Tickets are between about $5 and $10. And you can get tickets and more information on it by going to stalbert.ca.
Sounds like a great thing to attend. Another great thing I want to shout out, I used to work at the Glenrose Rehabilitation Hospital, so do a little bit of stuff there, but worked there for about 5 years with probably the greatest therapeutic recreation team on the planet. And so a shout out to all the girls and some guys who work in that department. They do an amazing work with so many different patients, with so many different challenges, and just trying to, I guess, normalize life for a lot of people. And they give them lots of great activities and lots of hope. And so I appreciate the training and the skill that all of you bring. Love y'all. And I know we'll see you again soon. But shout out, because it is Therapeutic Recreation Month in Alberta, or right across Canada, actually.
Yes, and somebody that you know from the Glenrose as well.
Yeah, so our Yay Gotta See It story is a great story this week. I met a gentleman named Ricardo. You're going to meet him in a second on our video. And I met him through the Glenrose a number of years ago. But Ricardo is an amazing guy. He came from Italy. He's a world-class piano player. He studies at the U of A biology and forestry and things like that. And he's an entrepreneur. And so in September, he had this idea to start this company to make microgreens. So the microgreens are those little vegetables you put on the tops of salads and things like that.
Oh, they're delicious.
Yeah, they're so good. But we want to do features like this about really cool things that are happening in the city. So here's about a 1.5-minute little video about a gentleman named Ricardo who started a very successful microgreens company in the city. Have a look.
So trying to bring to the market something at an affordable price that's available all year round. So we're really happy about what we're doing right now. Hey, my name is Ricardo, and I own Strathcona Microgreens Ltd. It's an urban farm right in the heart of the city, and we produce fresh year-round microgreens and shoots for the Edmonton area. Fresh, organically grown, harvested and delivered the same day. A product that is like flavorful, but at the same time also rich, very rich in nutrients. Can contain up to 40 times the nutrients of the fully grown counterpart. And that's, to me, it's quite astonishing. And I'm really happy to be able to provide this for everyone we serve and all the clients we have already. And so this is produced locally and delivered within hours to the plates. And they're harvested just at the right moment to maintain those nutrients and the flavor. It's possible to grow them indoor. You can use really the vertical space and the cubic feet of an area, so you don't really need to use a large amount of land. Really, it's soil and water. Like, we don't put any pesticide and herbicide. We don't need to do that because we are in a controlled environment. We do hand cutting and we hand water everything, so we really put a lot of love in our crop. After we harvest, so all the root system and the seeds and part of the shoots, we just give them to a local farm so they can use as feed for their animals. So everything gets reused and there is no waste. And we also chose our packaging that is not plastic based, but is plant based. This is made of corn and it's plant based. The best way to reach to us is through our Instagram page at Strathcona Microgreen, or through our website, strathconamicrogreens.ca.
So great story. Eh?
That is awesome.
And so again, if you want to get that
Love
information
that.
and just back that video up a bit, and you can see their Instagram page.
And those look so delicious.
Yeah, he gave me some when I filmed there last week, and I put it all over salads and inviting people over. Come on, have these microgreens. They're great, very high in nutrients.
Super nutrients in it.
Congrats. And he's got clients all around the city. He's got the Italian Center. He's got all these different restaurants. He's doing very, very well.
What a talent.
Yeah,
All right.
he does.
Well, we're going to go into the segment called Praises for Phrases, and being the week of Valentine's Day, this is a good one to start. Praises for Phrases is where we talk about phrases that people use on a regular basis, and we don't really know where they come from or why, and sometimes they're silly and don't make a lot of sense. So with Valentine's Day in mind, wear your heart on your sleeve. That's one that I've actually used before.
I know.
Had no idea where it came from.
Yeah, I do. I do that too, and it sounds like it's an emotional thing, right? Where your heart on your sleeve.
To me, it sounds like it's an emergency. If you're wearing your heart on your sleeve, you should go get that checked out really fast.
Not good.
No, that's not good.
You know, I'm not a cardiologist. They say the human heart should only remain outside the body for about 2 or 3 hours, and then you got to get that thing.
Oh, even then, I don't think that's a good thing for any reason.
It was first recorded in Shakespeare's Othello.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna read a little bit from where that came from.
From the quote?
Yeah. For when my outward action doth demonstrate
like
the
the accent.
native act and figure of my heart, in complentive extern 'tis long after, but will wear my heart upon my sleeve. For does to peck, I am not what I am.
Yes, quite.
What is with the word doth? Really?
We don't use it enough.
We don't really.
It makes you sound so smart when you use doth.
It does.
Dothn't it?
Yeah, I'm going to use doth.
Doth it not?
Doth. What was that movie? Who's that movie with the bad guy? Darth Vader.
Doth
No, Luke, you're my daddy. The first cuts are like, oh, you're my.
you my daddy?
He's from Australia now. Or is it different?
Yeah.
Down
Oh
under?
yeah. I think I sounded
down under.
from New Zealand there. Sounded like a Kiwi.
Oh, whoa. They don't like it when you mix.
Whoa.
Say,
Yeah,
you're
that's
from New
right.
Zealand. Whoa.
Whoa now.
The New Zealand, the Kiwis are all fun. And you go, oh, you're from
That's
Australia?
right.
And they,
Whoa.
Then the conversation cools right down.
Right down. Yeah. Doth it?
Yeah, it doth calm right down.
Maybe we're going to bring doth back and say doth more.
Yeah, who's Dolph Lundgren too? Wasn't he the guy in Rocky?
Well, it will be now because that'll be stuck in our heads.
So tell the story though. The night, the whole thing, right? That's the night.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
So
this is the real.
where that phrase comes from also is it's taken from knights used to wear a favor that was given to them by their ladies. So like a handkerchief or like some type of good luck charm, and they would wear that around the sleeve of their armor.
And the sleeve was actually a
good
metal.
luck.
It was a metal sleeve for jousting. But
That's
it was
right.
Still
And
a
so
sleeve.
that was wearing their heart on their sleeve, not a medical condition.
No. So yeah, very, very cool. I like it. I hope it's real. Webster says it's real. Webster's Online says it's real. But Tracie, do you ever see A Knight's Tale, the movie with Heath Ledger?
No, I saw that they were rapping in the
Oh.
Dark Ages, and it just seemed so weird to me.
I say, ask Tracie, how doth not thou have seen a movie about knights rapping and jousting to 80s music?
I doth not watch it.
All right,
Are you
that's it.
done?
I'm done. That's good.
Okay.
Yeah, a good movie though. I got to say, it is a good movie. I love it. It's long though, but there's some really funny bits in there.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to put one on the list of viewing. In the meantime, our next phrase is "speak of the devil."
Mm-hmm.
I use this. Do you use it? This is one that I've definitely used.
Right, but what's the whole phrase?
So the entire phrase actually has "doth" in it as well.
Oh, it's weird.
And he doth speak of the devil, and he doth appear is where that came from.
Yeah.
And that was a Latin and Old English text that came from when people believed that it was actually dangerous to speak the devil's name.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you did. Oh, see, there you go. You did it.
I did it.
You had to do it.
Mm-hmm. I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, my husband's name is close to devil. It's Devin.
It's
Devil. Is coincidence?
Yeah. We got a little shout out for Devin as well, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
Do-do-do.
Devin Gray is a great realtor.
That's
and
nice.
we can't necessarily advocate for him over anyone else. I just think he's very good. But he's come up with
I'm
a book.
biased, so
A
I
little
can
bit.
completely see that. Yeah.
He's come out with a book, and we want to maybe have him on the show in a couple of weeks because it's a hot market right now in Edmonton, and Devin will
So
give us all
busy.
kinds of information, right, about what's going on. And
Yeah, and it's some great tips if you are planning on listing a property for sale, which right now is definitely the time to do it. And then it can help you to sell your property quicker and for the maximum amount of money.
awesome, yeah.
Which
Anything you can
everybody
do
wants,
to
right?
leverage your position a little bit and improve your outcome
Mm-hmm.
these days is a good idea. One more, what I was going to say about that is it was a secret, and I wasn't going to let the cat out of the bag.
Don't let
about
the cat out
book.
of the bag.
But that's another one that's weird. It's just
We let the
strange.
cat out of the bag with Devin's
I know.
book by announcing that. But yeah, so that's our last phrase that we're going to talk about on the show today is don't let the cat out of the bag. And where that one comes from is it used to be that merchants would sell these little piglets And when they were selling them for easier transport, they would put them into bags to carry them.
Amazing story. Yeah.
And then if the buyer happened to look away briefly, they would switch out the piglet for a cat. And then the buyer wouldn't know until they got home and literally let the cat out of the bag before they realized they'd been bamboozled.
Bamboozled, another phrase in itself.
But that's another one we should bring back. Doff and bamboozled.
One show where we can only say those two words.
That's right.
We challenge you to watching this. Try and say doff and bamboozled a lot around your friends. They'll be like, what's going on?
Your friends will be bamboozled.
Yeah, that's how we market the Gray and Day show is with words. Okay, so the guy goes with his family, the girl goes with the family, and they go to the market. They buy what they think are pigs, and they get home. They've driven now, maybe 20 miles home or walked.
Or rode a horse.
And they open the bag, and there's a cat in the bag. Really?
Yeah. Well, and think how the cat feels about that. I don't imagine it would be impressed at all.
Okay, hold on a second, though. Let's look at it from the bag's point of view.
From the bag's point of view?
Yeah, let's look from the bag. So you're the bag, and you got the pigs in there and the cat, and you're going home, and the cat's just doing its thing. You don't think you'd notice?
You'd notice. I think you'd totally notice.
Like, pigs would probably be cool and just relax. Okay, we're going to market. But the cat's like, this is crazy.
And it's the bag that's noticing that.
And the bag notices. But, okay, there's got to be an upside. You get home, and you've been talking about the mice problem the whole time with your wife on the way home. What are we going to do? What are we going to do about these mice? And you get home, and you open it up, and lo and behold, there's a cat in the bag. Yeah. And you and your wife are like, oh my goodness, this is a miracle.
The one time in history they said, let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah.
Right?
And so now it played to your advantage. So you may be angry, but then it's going to help with the mice. Yeah.
I don't know if I can look at it from the side of the bag. I'm still worried about the little cats because that's cruel.
It is cruel. It is very cruel. And we're talking about cruelty and reducing the amount of cruelty in our world to animals. That's Tracie talking about our Gray Matters.
That's right. Our Gray Matters segment is about how Iceland is banning whaling now. So what they're going to do is they've declared that it's no longer social nor economically gainable to be doing the whaling practice anymore. So they are not going to be issuing any more licenses for whaling. So it's very good news.
Yeah, they will not. And there's actually there's a campaign they started in 2019. I guess hundreds of thousands of people came to this tourist attraction or tourist concept. Meet us, don't eat us. That's good, isn't it?
That's really good.
Yeah. Maybe the piglets, when they sit in the bag, they're like, don't eat us.
The piglets wanted that campaign too.
But that's great. I think there's only two countries left in the world that are still allowing that whaling. That's Japan and Norway. You want a lot of medals, but you're not winning a medal for your whaling.
Norway.
So, yeah, we're going to have to give Norway that just for now, because they'll probably change up as well. Good for Iceland. So maybe Iceland should get that.
It's really good for Iceland, and it's a whale of a story.
It's a whale. It's killer.
Well, it certainly had its purpose.
It was the right move.
Are we done?
Not quite. It's a
gray area.
It's a bit of a gray area, but we could do a podcast.
I'm a bit of a gray area.
You're a gray area. Podcast, whale pod, Okay, that's enough of that.
Maybe the whales will come out with a podcast.
Just that one tone.
That's what you'd call it, yeah. Oh.
That's pretty good. What was that? You find out stuff about people.
It started to sound more like a seagull to me, so I bailed on it. I bailed on my sound effect. That's better.
Oh,
that was better. You
goodness.
Didn't know I spoke whale.
I did not know you.
I speak Sean Connery. I speak whale.
I do shark. You do whale.
See all these talents hidden away that you had no idea.
Okay, do a whale comes to the beach and then starts to talk to the beach people on the beach as Sean Connery. That is so work. Stop.
I was trying to say doth like a whale, but I couldn't do it. I'm bailing again.
Tracie has all these voices. Tracie does professional voiceovers, and I don't know which ones she does. And so I mentioned something, and this happens. How did I not know that?
I told you there's secret talents.
I have a Chewbacca. I can do that.
Okay, let's hear it. That's actually really good.
Yeah, that's not bad. So let's do a whale and Chewbacca and having a podcast.
You know my Disney one that I like so much. Did you guess who that is?
It's Mickey Mouse.
It was. You're right. Yeah.
Hello, Pluto.
Oh.
Hello, Pluto.
That was better.
That was better.
Was better.
Hello, Pluto. That's better.
Can you do any good improvised characters or what's the word I'm looking for?
Okay, here's the challenge.
Can you do any characters?
Send us your accent that you want us to try, specifically Tracie, or animal sound that you'd like Tracie to try.
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
Yeah, maybe you could try that and see what happens.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
I'll print them off and I'll not show you.
I can't believe you did the whale. That's so good.
So we do the show and then you can get them all.
Iceland, though, man, Iceland. Edmonton's like Iceland. I mean,
Edmonton is like Iceland. We are covered in ice most of the year. Although I hear Greenland has more ice than Iceland.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that too.
Geographical trivia.
Greenland, they say, was actually when Eric the Great, one of these Vikings, got there and then wrote back saying, "Oh, it's all green." I guess that was the mark. He's like the first tourist marketing ad is, "Oh, it's all green. Come," and they show up. It's like, thanks, Eric.
Yeah, thanks so much.
You can't leave or he'll
stuck,
kill you.
Right?
Yeah, it's stuck.
It never changed.
Yeah. They never got around to it.
No, they never got around to it.
So,
but we've had so much ice around Edmonton.
Goodness.
And our sidewalks are frozen solid.
Yeah.
We got our roads frozen solid. All the drains are covered up. So if it does start to melt, it just layers more ice on it. So I finally grabbed several bags of ice to put down or of salt to put down on the ice on our sidewalk. But I was ripping the bags and I ripped one open and it went everywhere on my face. It was in my hair. So I didn't slip on the ice, but I did get assaulted.
Okay, saltwater jokes. Let's come back to the whale thing too. Good,
very
assaulted.
Salty. That's
I
right.
get it.
And my face isn't slippery at all. It's got some good traction on there.
And what's great, because ice doesn't collect on your face then for hours.
Right,
if you go outside.
That's right. Thank goodness.
I got to say, though, Tracie and I are different. I like cold and you like warm. So I don't mind.
I hate the cold.
The ice. I don't mind the cold.
Yeah.
I don't mind the ice in Edmonton at all.
But you actually enjoy it so much you'll go running out in the cold.
Yeah, I do. And I don't recommend this, but I've been following a guy named Wim Hof, who is this guy from the Netherlands, and he does this cold therapy. So I tried it about 4 or 5 years ago, doing cold showers. Now all I do is cold showers.
Did you say you don't recommend it?
I don't. Here's what I don't recommend. I don't recommend you just jumping right into it.
Yeah,
you've got to take some time.
Because you told me I should try.
Well,
it.
I told you to try the cold showers.
That's like my nightmare.
But cold showers change. I thought it was for hair growth. It hasn't helped in 5 years.
Yeah,
but
I was going to say I don't think it works on the hair growth.
Once you start, you can't stop. And so I'll run this. Edmonton water temperature is 38 degrees, so about 6 degrees above freezing Fahrenheit. So it's really cold. But then 3 years ago, I said I'm going to take it further. And Wim Hof goes outside and runs outside. So I run just in I've got a video. I run just in my shorts.
I don't know if I can watch this.
And this is from this year.
So cold.
This is this year. I don't know what the temperature. Let's see. It's minus 33, 26 degrees, 9:40. And I was out for about 15 minutes.
No, I can't watch it. I'm leaving.
Yeah, and you got to.
I'm leaving. I can't watch
it. Don't leave. So you have to run. You have to be very careful of Tracie. She's actually left. Okay. So when you do this outside, I don't recommend it. I've taken about 3 years to kind of work up to this. And my record was minus 36 last year. It was 21 minutes outside and minus 36. If you do run, you got to run into the wind at first, because if you get stuck out there, look at you.
I'm cold just watching it. I can't watch it, man. It's too.
That's so funny.
Too
look
chilly.
At you.
Too cold.
You can't be a good whale if you get cold.
Oh, darn. I guess I won't be a whale then.
Like that? No. You got to bring it up over your eyes. Just a little bit over your eyes.
Just a little.
No,
is that better? No. Okay, promise me you won't show the video. I'll take it off.
I won't. Yeah, Tracie and I, Tracie and I don't agree on everything, and that's okay. We're good friends. But we don't agree on everything, and so Tracie,
definitely not on that.
You get that for dressing up.
Aww, and thanks, Matt. And you get this for making me cold.
And you get that for the whale sound.
Woo! All right, turn up the heat.
Yeah, good job. Good job with that. So funny.
All right.
Well, that's it. That's it.
That's a wrap. I'm going to go warm up.
End
That's
our
right.
show.
We're going to end it. Thank you so much for joining us. You can find us on the web at grayday.ca. And then you can also find us on YouTube at GrayDay Events. So we're everywhere.
We'd love you to share this too. Share the link with some friends. We just want to have positivity and have some fun and a way for people to connect and things like that. So we do love those comments too. Yeah. And we love you. We think you're fantastic. And, stay the course. We'll be okay.
We hope you got a good laugh or two. Remember to smile and phone a friend.
Phone a friend. Literally. Who are you going to call?
All right. Thanks for joining us. See you next week.
Bye-bye.